Let's thin our deck out with the Witcher trio, and this Kolgrim player is going to get destroyed because we have so many points stacked in our deck. Like, he clogged us with a bunch of units. We're just boosted all those units with Erland. We're going to boost all the ones he clogged us with Vesmir Mentor, and then King Rognar is going to absolutely blow this guy out, and it's going to be pretty funny, Mr. Kolgrim player. Slightly above Mill in my esteem, but I'm not really a fan of either. I'm going to be honest here. That's a big boost, and next turn, this guy is going to really struggle. Yeah, there's your Kolgrim. And if we're at 58, check this out. We're going to go with a transform here, couple points, and we'll say you're going down. Not say thanks, because this guy's annoying me. He's so slow round one. And then we go with that boost, King Rognar, and we're up by 60-something points. 60, 59. And even with Letho, this is not even going to be close. Yep, 38-point victory. GG. Today we're going to be playing some Shieldwall Witchers. I played a Witcher type deck a little while ago with the Muta Generator, but that was more for fun, just to see what happened if we played a bunch of carryover. And I wanted to make an actual Witcher Shieldwall deck for a while here. So let's get into it here. It's pretty simple. We're going to run Shieldwall. It's in the name. We've got the Crystal Skull. Crystal Skull's here mainly for the Griffin Witcher here. So you put the Veil on him, and then at the end of turn, just 3 damage every turn once you get to the Adrenaline condition, and that's quite good. It probably gets answered most of the time, but if it doesn't, it's incredibly strong. So Amphibious Assault to find our cards. Erland to buff everything in our deck. We're going to still have a lot of carryover in this deck. We have Prince Anseis, because Anseis with Shield Wall is ridiculous. It's one of the strongest things that Northern Realms really has. If you go Anseis Shield Wall, it does 12 damage. That's incredible. It's 12 damage before he gets hit by the duel, because he hits it and they hit the shield. It's really, really strong. It's also really strong on the Seltkirk, but we don't have a good way to give Seltkirk a Zeal, so I left him out here. We have our buffed Vesmir Mentor. He's in 9 provisions now, also giving us much carryover. We have the Keldar. Keldar is really key for spawning those students, because we don't have stuff like Skelga does where they can spawn a bunch of students easily. We really want Keldar to be spawning students near the end of the round to help us out, and he's pretty good. He can get him off of the Amphibious Assault, and usually we pretty much always use a Shield Wall charge on the Keldar to keep him alive, right? So use 1 charge on Anseis, 1 charge on Keldar, the other one's kind of flexible. King Rognar, so he's our finisher, removes all the shields, boosts himself by 3 for each removed. It's a really big play a lot of the time, and even if you only have like 3 or so shields, it's still really good. John Natalius is here to get us our Amphibious Assault. We have our Immortals. Immortals plus Sorceress is really the big engine card for round 1. It's a big combo. So whenever this loses its shield, it boosts by 2. I think you're trying to gain the shield. And you're taking that shield off every turn with the Sorceress and boosting her by 2, so it's 4 points a turn. Very, very strong. You usually want to play them in different rows, though, in case there's a Yrden or something. Then we have Windhelm. Windhelm, this card could be anything. I just felt like running a Windhelm because I haven't run Windhelm in a while. And he is a 2-point per turn engine, which is really good. And we have the extra Shield Wall charge. So I thought we could throw it on him if we had it. As usually what the opponent will do, they'll hit this shield. I think you have things you want to put all your Shield Wall charges on that you won't put the shield back on, but we have an extra charge we can put back on him. And it's 2 points a turn, which is pretty big. The best alternative to him is probably the location, Kaer Seren. So really, this is here because you might need that extra Griffin Witcher Adept. But I went with the Windhelm because I thought we would have some fun with an extra engine card, really. Then we have Leo. Leo's our finisher. He boosts by 1 for each Witcher you control. You could remove Leo if you're finding yourself not getting a lot of long rounds with a bunch of Witchers. But usually he's pretty good. We have Eskel, Vesmir, Lambert. They thin our deck. They're a big tempo play once they've been boosted up. They get all the Witchers out for the Griffin Witcher Adepts to transform. They set up the Leo. They do so much for the deck. And yeah, they're really good in here. Then we have the Selective Mutation. I like Selective Mutation here. It finds you your Adrenaline card of your choice and shuffles card back into your hand. It gives us 2 students, and I like that because we need those students for the Griffin Witcher Adepts. If you want more consistency, you could also run the Geralt. Where is he? You always run this guy, and then you get your shield, play Witcher from your deck, and give the shield to the thing it plays on. So Geralt Quen works really well with the deck here. He gives you 2 shields. He takes a card from your deck. I just wanted to... Well, I basically was running the Erland or Prince on Sais. Usually, I think you have to cut one to fit in the Quen. Not too sure about that. You could definitely fit him in here. He is good. He's definitely good. You also cut Windhelm and Leo to fit him in as well in another 4-vision card. So those are some options if you do want to run that. Then we have the Sorceresses I mentioned. The Griffin Witchers are mainly here for that opening Crystal Skull. They're not too bad otherwise, though. Target Practice is our backup Warfare card for the John Natalius. It spawns as a student, really good Griffin Witcher Adepts. 2 Kedwenny Cavalry. You could put any 4-vision card in here. I just like the Cavalry. It synergizes well with the Sorceress when you don't have your Immortals. It synergizes well with King Rognar as a finisher. And it's generally just like pretty good. Cintran Artificer. I only have one of these. This, again, could be a tech card if you want a squirrel or something in here. We're not running Devotion, so that's not too big a deal. But you have the Give Order Shield here, just to help out. And then the 2 Griffin Witcher Adepts. They're very key for getting up our long rounds. And honestly, it might be better to run the Carceran to get another one. But we're going to go with this for now and just see how it works out. Starting off then, we have... Oh, Patricidal Fury. Don't see this very often. Someone mentioned a Patricidal Fury deck where you purify the Arnulf and then bring it back with Fukusha. That's pretty cool because you get the 20 rain. I think I mentioned that in the video when Fukusha first came out. But yeah, you could do something like that. Might be fun. I doubt that's what he's running. But that's a fun idea here. As far as our hand, we really just want to... I think we want to have... We want Griffin... We're not going first, so Griffin Witcher is less good. Cintran Artificer is probably worse, though. Kind of just need to figure out what he's playing here. Curse Scroll's pretty interesting. Not sure what it means exactly, but we'll try and figure that out. Okay, so... Does have the Tier 6 Skirmisher. Or Invader, whichever one this is. And what are we going to do? Goes Curse Scroll. Well, I think we open the Griffin Witcher. Get that 1 damage per turn. If he has control, he gets rid of it. And what would be scary here? I'm not too sure. If he's playing a heavy raid deck, we actually have a lot of shields and get some good value. So if he's playing the Highland Warlord, for example, with like 12 raids in his deck, we should be okay. I'm trying to think of what else we want to do. Mostly just set up carryover, I think. Against decks that have veteran cards, and he has veteran here, our round 1 should be able to win because those cards get stronger as the game goes on. So we should have a small advantage here. We're going to have to watch out for that Champion's Charge, though, because I'm pretty sure you run that Narnia off the Patrick. Okay, so I'm pretty sure he's playing a raid deck with War of Clans. And if that's the case, we definitely want to win this round 1. If we go Adept, he would have killed our Griffin Witcher if he could have before, and I'm pretty sure there's no 3 damage Skellige cards, so the difference between 4 and 3 here is pretty minimal. Once it goes to 2, he has plenty of ways to kill it, I think, but at 3 damage, I can't think of anything, unless he's going to throw down a Skeweredle right now, but I doubt that. So he should live. So it is Highland Warlord raids, so yeah, he should have a very weak round 1. We'll just damage this, and now we'll boost up with this tactical, or target practice rather, and get a little bit more points on this Griffin Witcher, keep it alive. That way he can't do the death blow on it with something like his Blood Eagle, because then he'd be able to kill it and also tutor out his other Highland Warlord. He's going to be reviving these, I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. He could have killed it with that. Instead, he doesn't. Gets another Highland Warlord out. Okay, so we have to go for a round 2 here, because I don't really want to deal with all this stuff round 3. Like, we could probably deal with it okay, because we do have all these shields, but I think I'd rather... It's not guaranteed, though, because it's still very, very strong later in the game. Especially if he purifies off the Highland Warlords to play them again round 3, so potentially he has Freya's Blessings and Herald and Fukusha, then he gets all of its raids, gets 6 damage. 6 additional damage. If he's doing that, we can't win the round 3, I don't think. It's just too much. So we'll have to kind of... So either we have to either find that out round 2 if he's going to be playing that, or... And if he is, go for the round 2 win. Or we just, like, play round 2 and he's not doing that, in which case we have a stronger round 2 than he does, I think. Basically, we just want to make sure we can have that big tempo swing round 2. We could, and we'll hopefully get into our Immortals and Sorceress for that round 2. Let's go Amphibious Assault. Let's go Sorceress here. And we'll just start pulling these shields off. The thing with this is, it's not too bad if we remove these shields. I should have transformed that one to get the shield back on, by the way. I just saw the turn timer coming up and hit next. It's fine. He probably won't kill it. If he does, it's whatever. It's not going to make a difference. It won't make a difference in the long run. Trying to play King Ragnar here. And we do have our Keldar ready. We have... Okay. So we went on even here. This is pretty expected when he's trying to do this much setup for round 2 and 3. And we do have some good cards for our round 2 push. So we're going to do that round 2 push I mentioned. To see what we draw into. Ideally, we get Immortals in our hand. And... Okay, I was going to say Griffin with your Adept. We did get him. That's good. And on Sace. That's very nice. So what are we missing here? We're missing Immortals, Windhelm, and Sorceress. Sorceress is less of a big deal here because we're going to hang Ragnar everything off later on. I think we'll go the Amphibious Assault into the Sorceress, potentially. We don't have Immortals, though. It's hard to say. Let's just open with this guy. Although we definitely want him to live. Maybe we open with something else. No, he's not going to kill it. No, he's not going to kill this. This is a very key card. Against Nilfgaard, this is a more suspect play. Because against Nilfgaard, they can Tourney Joust this, but he's not going to have a double way to kill this. War of Clans does 3 damage if he brings back the warrior guy, and he's not going to leader this into Champion's Charge. So there, he brings that back. There's the Freya's Blessing. Keldar doesn't quite have his Adrenaline yet. Trying to think here. We could just... yeah, let's just go Erlin. We're not relying on Erlin's order to give us a bunch of points. And I kind of want him to think Erlin's a threat and to remove him with something. He's going to remove it with like a... What's the 2 damage normally? It spawns a bear. Primal Savagery. He'll probably hit this with Primal Savagery, or he'll hit it with his Blood Eagle or something. So Erlin's going to die. We do get that carryover. Or Champion... That's not Champion's Charge. War of Clans as well. We block that on the shield. Now that the shield's gone, I definitely want to transform something. But we don't really have a good way to make a Witcher yet. Let's go into... if we go Immortals, it blocks random damage. So if he has a Fuchsia, the Immortals potentially is a really strong answer to that. Let's bring that out. I think it's better than Windhelm in this case. So if he's going to Fuchsia back the other one, our shields will block that rain and we'll get points from it. Although, if he's going to do that, he might Champion's Charge the Immortals here. If he does Champion Charge the Immortals, it means he can't do it to Keldar, and Keldar with a shield becomes incredibly powerful. Which honestly is probably better for us in the long run if the it's better for us in the long run if the Keldar lives. So really, if he Champion's Charges this, I'm pretty happy. I'd be happier if he wasn't running Champion's Charge at all, though. In all honesty, that'd be even better. But he probably is. Oh, just a Bran. Okay. So we'll go Keldar. Or go Eskel. Let's go Eskel first here. I want to give him another turn to remove the Immortals before we play Keldar. And the thing is here, if we play Keldar, we can't actually transform the Griffin Witcher this turn. And he doesn't have that shield, so I'm getting a little nervous if he keeps sitting out there. We can't transform the Keldar because he spawns the guy at the end of the turn, so we'll just do this first. Okay, so it's the 6 Highland Warlord deck. We're not beating that round 3. And the other thing is we can't actually let him purify off our shields, because that would be incredibly problematic for us. So we're just going to have to use our duel here on this guy. So normally what they do with this specific deck he's running is you bring back the Highland Warlords round 2. So you've played 4 of them. Use the Purify from Grimace to purify off the Highland Warlord, and then you play the Freya's Blessing again to summon the other Highland Warlord back. Refreshes the purify that one, and you can use Fukusha and Herald to bring them back round 3, and all your raids have +6 damage. Very, very strong, but we're not going to let him do that. Not going to let him do that. There's a champion charge, and it's on Immortals. That's good. Now we go with our Keldar. And we'll put a shield wall charge on him. He shouldn't be able to kill this. And we'll start transforming these guys into things with shields. I'm not sure if I remember to do it last turn or not. I may be busy explaining. If I didn't do that last turn, we should have. Just point that out. And he's going to go Blood Eagle. It's hardly a surprise. Oh, he's going to run Eist. Okay.
No retreat, not one step.
Doesn't discard a unit. That is weird to me. I'm not sure. I guess this is for Burna. Probably use a Burna or something to discard 2 units with and use the Ice's order. Well, Ice's counters that way. Ragnar's going to be our finisher, so I think we just Leo here. Just see how big he is. We should be able to win this 2-0, actually. It depends. We can 2-0 this if he doesn't have a Burna or discard for Eist. If he does, it'll be closer, but we'll see. Because Ragnar is going to be really big. If I've been saying King Ragnar's ability name wrong the whole time, I do apologize for that. This is a pretty good transform, though. That gets us up 3. And as you can see here, we're going to have a really big King Ragnar. We're at 39, and now we're at 64. So 25 points. Really big there. And let's see if he can catch up to that. I doubt he can. He's not, even with a double discard off Burnout to trigger the Eist. And yeah, he's not going to go for it. GG. Going up against Tactical Decision. Now, I have seen quite a bit of Golden Necker decks, like replay Golden Necker a few times decks, 3 times actually to be precise. And those usually use Tactical Decision because you can reset the top of your deck, know what you're playing. You can use the Snowdrop and such and combo this to draw into the Golden Necker. So I expect that to be what this is. Sunset Wanderer is moving though, makes me instantly suspicious of Mill. Yeah, and you know what? There it is. Although Golden Necker Mill, I'm 95% Golden Necker Mill is just better than this because it gives you that tempo choice. So this is just standard old Mill. You have that Ring of Favor, which is annoying, but you should really just lose the game. Like, I don't think he can win this. We will boost this up because it will be useful over this round. And usually I don't run a lock. The only other time I usually have the units like a Vilgefortz. He's going to keep banishing. I don't care, really. We just have to be careful not to use our Witcher trio. We don't want to pull anything out of our deck we don't have to. Let's go Immortals here. We'll go Amphibious Assault into the Sorceress, and that'll give us 4 points a turn. And that should pretty much deal with everything he has and kind of win the game. Yeah, keep going. And the reason really, by the way, well, we're just going to watch this pointless game play out, is that the reason I hate Mill so much is it's just a huge waste of time.
Where is Sabrina?
It's a huge waste of time. He's not going to win this round, so we're going to win on even. And then he can't beat our round 2 long round, even with the tempo from his leader, which might get it close. Honestly, if he has the tempo from his leader, he might be able to win a round 2. But like, it's not gonna make him win the game. I don't think he can win this. It might be close, but Tourney Joust is a pretty decent card versus our deck. Actually, it's really good. And we'll just keep firing stuff. Let's just play this. We do not want to pull cards out of our deck if we can avoid it. And that is it here. So we went on even. This shouldn't be too hard for round 2. Kind of depends though. Kind of depends. So basically we don't want any of the Witcher cards. Oh, we drew... Okay, that's really bad that we drew the target practice. It means John Natalius plays for 2. That could ruin everything here. John Natalius doesn't have a target. That was going to be our opening play. We're really close to it once he plays Griffin Witcher. We're going to go Griffin Witcher into John Natalius into target practice. We drew the target practice, so now he's a 2-point card. That's going to make this actually close. Because Erlin's going to be weak, because our deck's going to be pretty small. We won't have a lot of things to pull buffs off of. And with John Natalius also as a 2, that's 2 weak plays we have. Man, that was a really unfortunate draw. Let's get to play it, though.
I don't train on the cone. I hate it.
But our choice was to keep John Natalius or the Witcher. I think I went with the John Natalius here.
You'll forget your sorrows.
Could have gone with the Witcher guy, but there's a chance he doesn't banish one of them, and then we end up thinning our deck for round 3. And that's really risky.
Let's make something beautiful.
So I figured it'd be better to take the 1 or 2 less points, depending on Leo and such, and just go with it. Do we have anything good left, by the way? Yeah, we need our Keldar out. But we need him to have Adrenaline, otherwise he's going to Vilgeforce. It's going to have Vilgeforce anyway. Let's just play this. Boost our deck up. Give him a shield, and this might convince him to Vilgeforce our Erland instead. And then the Keldar lives. That would be ideal. Let's have the Sunset Wanderers tempo, too. So he has Snowdrop, Leader, Wanderers. That's like 30-something points, probably. This might actually get difficult. I was pretty convinced we were going to win, but then John Natalius, and we drew the target practice. It's not looking great. Oh, King Ragnar's pretty big. Yeah, so he's going to Vilgeforce that. Oh, and he gave us Windhelm. All right, now we're talking. I will be very happy to see that Windhelm out here. Amphibious Assault will go into Keldar now that we have the Adrenaline coming up. And we'll give him a shield. And he can't Vilgeforce it. He might have an Invocation, but usually they don't run that. At least in my experience. Okay, this guy is, so that's annoying. Tactical Decision. So we actually have to save our Unsafe for that Keldar then, because probably the biggest points he's going to have. He hasn't played a Snowdrop. If he played a Snowdrop earlier, and went to like 12 points, we would have used the Unsafe on that.
Climbing's the easy bit. Getting down's another matter.
Our deck's not looking super good here, by the way. I was kind of hoping a random Warfare card spawned into it, but didn't, because that's not how the game works, but whatever. We're still down a bit here, but Windhelm will give us a lot of points. Kind of curious what he's going to do here. He needs to do something. While we're waiting for him, make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content here. It does help out. And okay, he's going to play an Ivar Evil Eye on us. I'm not sure why he chose the lower of our 2 cards, unless he has an answer for the Windhelm. So Windhelm's definitely getting answered, otherwise he would have swapped with Windhelm. So we do know that. Let's go with the duel here. Just kill off this incredible value. Get rid of the Sunset Wanderers here. Windhelm's still boosting. There's a Keldar. And there's Keldar. Like, at this point, the reason I said we were holding on Sace for Keldar, then we didn't use it, is because he didn't play it right away. He waited a turn. And let's just kind of see what he has here. There's a Tibor. We could... This is worth more points because the shield gets taken off, so we'll go Rognar here. And we're up by 25. That's a lot. Even if he has like a removal card, so he's going to go Renew, that's not going to save him. He doesn't have like, he's already used his removal cards. Even Heatwave doesn't save him there because we still win by 1. So even if he had that Heatwave on Rognar, he didn't have enough. GG. going up against Tactical Decision. So, we've played Mill earlier today, of course, because, you know, can't go a day without playing Mill. Hopefully it's not 2 games of Mill in a row. If this is the second Mill deck, I'm just going to cut it out of the video because we don't need to see that again. It's kind of pointless. Boring. Guess you won't hear me announce that either if it's a Mill deck. So if you heard this, it's not a Mill deck. Look at that. Future speaks. We actually, for the first time here, get our Crystal Skull, but we don't have the Griffin Witcher. So that's unfortunate. Well, not that big a deal, though. Let's see what he plays. If he Tourney Joust this, that's really annoying. Okay, when he Cavalry, get Tourney Joust to... Oh, for the way. Wow. By the way, guys, if you don't know, the Tourney Joust, what on earth? I just have no idea. Whatever. We'll just play this. Like I was saying about the Tourney Joust. The Tourney Joust will, for like most cards work, it'll resolve its effect first before other effects trigger. So it removes the shield on the Kedwenny Cavalry, then does the 4 damage. The Cavalry's then dead, so it doesn't get its 2-point boost. That's not how it works. It does actually kill it. Fun fact, if you're ever wondering. It's how most cards work. They resolve their effects before the things trigger. So he's going to boost that up. It's almost like he got a good hit with it. I'm still very confused to why he played this, so it's going to be some kind of a sketchy deck here. It's not something normal. Otherwise, this doesn't make sense. Also not really sure why the Sorceress's ability counts for the Shield Breaker achievement contract, because it says remove with damage, but she's not damaging it. But I guess it makes sense that it counts, but how the contract's worded, I'm not sure about that. So there's a Snowdrop. We can unsace that once it gets a little bigger. I don't mind waiting. We'll just do this, make sure it doesn't get killed, play the Artificer, and then we can put the shield on the Kedwenny Cavalry, remove it with the Sorceress, and we're all looking good here. We do have the Immortals still, but we're so far ahead, I don't really want to play it unless he commits something. There's a Fair Cart, Dead Man's Tongue. So if he leaders here, we unsace duel the Snowdrop. Otherwise, we probably go for the John Natalius into something. Probably. We'll kind of have to see what he does. There's the Morven. Drawing, resetting. Okay, so we're going to go unsace duel into Snowdrop. It's not perfect 12 because he got a couple boosts from the Fair Cart, but no Mage Assassins. That's still fine. We'll just shield this. This is another 4 points. That's pretty nice. And we do have the unsace duel, which we will use. It doesn't quite put us ahead on even here, but it's still nice. And with his leader gone, winning on even's not really likely anyway. We're getting pretty close. We might scare him. And then we'll have the option of going for the Immortals. That's pretty nice. I don't really want to play Immortals this round, like I said. There's a Blade Maker. That's a fair bit of tempo he got. Fair bit indeed. Keldar wouldn't be too bad here. We might not need him. Let's go John. And then we'll go into this Amphibious Assault. That one Griffin Witcher Adept really not doing much for us this round. What would be the best? Windhelm wouldn't be too bad. I doubt he has much more control. And if he does, it could stop him from getting our Keldar if we need to play him. Maybe that's the option. Yeah, let's go for that. He'll get us quite a bit of points here. And let's just reshield here. This puts us ahead on even. That leader charge there, definitely worth it. Eskel Pathfinder. Okay, something janky's going on here. He's played Roach. We'll play the Immortals. We guarantee the round with it, basically. And I'm not going into a round 3 game against him without knowing what's going on. Oh, I guess we are, because we can't beat K here.
Guardian.
Well, that explains a lot. He won't take the draw here, by the way. He'll play another card. If he does take the draw, we win the game, I'm pretty sure. Because Ring of Favor, Roach. Okay, so it's a Kolgrim deck. It's a Kolgrim deck, he's just trying to hide it. Alright, I see what's going on. Now, I'm pretty sure we just destroy him. If it's Kolgrim. Because he's going to wait till round 3 to Kolgrim. He didn't play Knickers, and we don't have a super clogged deck. We do thin our deck a fair amount with the Witcher trio and such. So, if he goes for the round 2 here, we win the game. Then we have an Erland. Like, if he clogs our deck, Erland and Vesemir Mentor just get better. And we'll use that Erland finisher for round 3. So we can play anything else this round 3? Okay. I mean, Griffin Depth's pretty good with Keldar. If it is a Kolgrim deck, like I'm pretty sure it is, he can't actually stop the Griffin Depth, so it might be really good to hold on to. But then it means we lose out on our Amphibious Assault. I think the Griffin Depth's better. Play the Artificer here. Weird to say that it's better, but I'm pretty sure it is. We can transform all those guys and then play King Rognar pretty big. I think I pronounced his name differently every time I've said it, by the way. At least slightly. So it's a Griffin Witcher. We really want to see Vesemir Mentor and Erland. Okay, there's Erland. Vesemir Mentor be fantastic. Draw as well. Okay, we can get him with that. That's fine. Perfect. We don't want to risk drawing into too much of the Witcher trio here. And let's just wait for him to start clogging us.
The wonders of projectiles and ranged weaponry.
Let's see it. Oh yeah, there's the coded weapons. Here's the thing, the more units you put in my deck, the better this Erland gets. And this is going to be a complete blowout of a round 3. Sorry to say. The only way this guy has a chance of winning is if he renews the K here. But it's not a renew deck, otherwise he'd have gone for the round 2. So we kind of know that's not going to happen. Let's get our Vesemir Mentor. And let's put back... Maybe we don't actually keep the Leo here. Yeah, let's put back Leo. Start transforming. And... oh, that's right, we already played a card. What am I trying to do here? Let's see what else he wants to do. Blightmaker. Yeah, he's thinning his deck. Ooh, killing that student's a tad bit annoying. Could go with Keldar, though. And I'm pretty sure he can't answer this. Save a point of bleeding, getting our shield out. And let's just kind of see what he has. There's a Cynthia. See, this isn't gonna work, my friend. I'm sorry to say. Let's go Erland now, I guess. Vesemir Mentor is a little bit better later on because we can boost all these tokens with that Rognar. And this is going to be a King Rognar highlight clip right here. It's going to destroy this guy. He's not going to have a chance here.
Retrieve the bolt. I know. I'm on it.
Let's thin our deck out with the Witcher trio. And this Kolgrim player is going to get destroyed because we have so many points stacked in your deck. Like, he clogged us with a bunch of units. We just boosted all those units with Erland. We're going to boost all the ones he clogged us with Vesemir Mentor. And then King Rognar is going to absolutely blow this guy out. And it's going to be pretty funny, Mr. Kolgrim player. Slightly above Mill in my esteem, but I'm not really a fan of either. I'm going to be honest here. That's a big boost. And next turn, this guy is going to really struggle. Yeah, there's your Kolgrim.
I demand justice.
And if we're at 58, check this out. We're going to go with the transform here, couple points. And we'll say you're going down. Not say thanks, because this guy's annoying me. He's so slow round 1. And then we go with that boost, King Rognar. And we're up by 60-something points. 60, 59. And even with Letho, this is not even going to be close. Yep, 38-point victory. GG. Loading screen taking a while here. And it's going to be Ursine Ritual. Interesting. We'll see what this version of Skellige is. Another cursed scroll. Or is that the first cursed scroll? Oh, that's the second one, I think. We do have our Griffin Witcher, but once again, we're not going first. So that's not super helpful. Let's just put the Witcher trio back, so we just have the one guy in our hand. Usually a pretty obvious thing to do. Opponent here going to open... Okay, it's going to be a Lippy deck. Okay. Is it Magic Compass Lippy or regular Lippy? We'll have to figure that one out. These decks tend to run the Erendite, because they have that really high tempo round one, so they usually run Erendite. I'm not sure if this guy's going to be having the Magic Compass, but Erendite's a card we'll have to watch out for. And we do want to win this round one, I think.
Knights get princesses and we get what? Bloody Striegers!
He does kill that. That's pretty expected. The Griffin Witcher's really only good if you're going first and have that Crystal Skull. All the other times he's like a... He usually just gets answered the rest of the time. He's not bad, but he's going to die the rest of the time. Because he's really our only engine card that can be easily answered. So if they have a bronze removal card, it's going to be saved for him. Because he won't be able to deal with anything else. But I still think we want to win this round one. We do have tempo options to do that, but they require adrenaline, which makes this awkward. And this is kind of the issue with Witchers sometimes, as the adrenaline gets in the way of what you want to do. Okay, so he's going to go to Melusine. That could be a problem. But... Oh, Melusine or Cultist. It's one of the two. Let's go target practice. Just make some more guys with shields. We do have Amphibious Assault and King Ragnar, so we could go with a good finisher here. Just kind of depends on... Okay, so it is the Melusine. Let's see, we want to draw into our Vesmir Mentor. And let's put back this Kedwini Cavalry. Transform the students here. And that's the nice thing about the selective mutation. It gives you these two students to transform. Blue Boy Lugos. Okay, that's a lot of damage here. Now we could go for a duel on Melusine. It puts us ahead on even. It's a big commitment. It's probably the right choice, but I don't want to. Let's go Amphibious Assault instead. Bring out the Immortals. Oops, that's not the right row. This is why we have that on still. Transform here, get a shield. And basically the Immortals here should counteract a lot of the Blue Boy Lugos random damage and the Melusine rain. Basically, it'll take the damage on that rain or the 2 damage ping, block it on the shield, and then boost himself and get the shield back. Okay, he's gonna pass. We should have gone for Ansace last turn. We should have. I knew it was the right choice. I just didn't want to do it. Now we have to do it here too. Yeah, that's what we should have done last turn. If we lose this game, it's because we have that choice there. We should have done that a turn earlier. But I was kind of hoping we wouldn't have to. We'll get the Immortals out and then like play a longer-ish round, but he just left. Normally they don't leave there. Kind of surprised me. Usually they keep going and try and get them Melusine bigger, especially if he's going to be playing the Ceres and Lippy. But potentially it's not Lippy then. Although I don't know why else runs Ceres unless it's just to make sure Erendite's big. Hard to say. We're going to have to push this round. Gregory of Bull, that is actually quite annoying here. But let's go Amphibious Assault. Let's get out Windhelm and just see if he can't give us some engine points.
To the invaders!
We do have that one spare leader charge for Windhelm. And sometimes they'll commit like a fair amount of damage into it. Like sometimes they'll even hit this like a gutting slash. And that's actually pretty good value just to re-shield it. Windhail's a very interesting card you don't have to play. Okay, so he's got the defender up. Let's go Keldar here. Now, I'm not sure this is going to work, but I think we have to go for it. We'll see. He's gonna Heat Wave on Keldar. Go Mentor then. Heat Waving Keldar is really annoying, but it doesn't matter that much. It just stops our Leo from getting bigger. Because the Griffin Witcher Adept can't actually transform anything since it's locked. He's had really good answers to our setup this round. I'll bring back the Melusine. This is actually really annoying because the Melusine Rain's going to start eating away at our shields. We'll probably just get rid of all of them. He might actually just rain the range road for more value. But I expect him to do it on the melee row at least once to stop our Windhelm boosting. And then we won't have a big King Ragnar. There's Burna. Hopefully he's a bad hand and we like discard. Doesn't have Morkvarg and such. Does have the Morkvarg. Only one. No. If there's no... I'm guessing it's not Lippy. There's no Knickers or Roach or anything, so I'm guessing maybe it isn't Lippy. We'll play Leo here. He's not bad at 12, but I don't know if we're going to have enough points here. I don't think we can 2-0 win here, and then we end up in round 3 where he's going to be stronger. It's still it doesn't really look like a Lippy deck, but it could be. I'm not sure why else it'd be like this. Unless it's potentially a Magic Compass deck. What does King Ragnar play for? I think we have to go for it. And I'm not sure it's going to work, but I think we don't really have a choice at this point. We do lose our Windhelm boosting, but we're up by 16. So he's going to need a pretty substantial card. I'm guessing maybe he doesn't have it. There's the last leader, so we can't go for a Saris later. Ooh, and there's the Spores, so that's why he didn't answer our Windhelm. I'm pretty sure this is a loss then. Pretty sure. We'll just play the round 3 until we can't win anymore, though. Find out. This all comes down to our decision to wait a turn to use Onsace on the Melusine. We should have done that earlier. As soon as we didn't, I knew it was the right choice. I just wanted to be greedy and not use the Onsace. Then we still have to use him. Man, if we had Erland, we might have a chance here, but we didn't draw him. He's pretty key. This hand's really bad. We had 5 cards in deck. We need to draw Erland. Or 8 cards in our deck. We need to draw Erland. We didn't get him. He would be the answer to this. He would strip all those buffs off our deck. And he's our finisher. Like in a short round like this, where we end up like this, he's usually the best option. We do get that nice block there, by the way. Play this, and basically, if he has any card that isn't like Curse of Corruption, he's gonna win. We'll see if make sure he doesn't have that Curse of Corruption or something first. Yeah, so this is a GG. We'll leave this game. Here we have a double cross player. So much Nilfgaard today. So much Nilfgaard, but maybe this will be more of a standard game. I kind of hope so. We've had a bunch of weird decks today. What do we want to play here? Of course, there is a huge problem with these Nilfgaard decks, I should point out, and it's the Sorceress, right? If they make a Sorceress, it's so incredibly bad for us. Because they'll make it with the Duchess Informant, or they could get it with the... Okay, never mind. What's going on? Why do we have you? Is this one of the spam decks, or is this just a tech card for the Assimilate 5 provision slot instead of a Mage Torturer? Hard to say. Well, there's nothing we can do about this because we don't have it on safe, so we're just have to kind of take whatever he has. Find out. If a Vilgeforce Renegade comes down here, we're going to be a little sad. We can't stop it. That is a weakness of the deck. It has difficulty stopping things. You don't really have much control. You could fix that with the Selkirk. It would help. What's he deciding? Treyhairn, okay. Yup. Yep, thanks. You got rid of my Keldar. Now you're going to put on top of your deck. I'm waiting for it. Go on. Go on. No need timing your turn out for this, my friend. Thank you. Alright, so that's what's going on here. It's just a combo with Treyhairn. That's fine, I guess. Just annoying it took so long to do it. Let's draw the Erland. And we'll put back in probably Kedwenny Cavalry. Transform here. Now Treyhairn is a low value play, like a low tempo play. So we might have a chance to win on even, but it's going to be difficult. I have to see where this goes. Okay, there's the lock. That's very annoying. I'm not gonna lie. Let's go Sorceress. Like I said, Sorceress could be a really big problem if he takes one of ours, but right now it's not. So right now it's not that big a deal if he copies it. So we'll try and get her value going. Transform here. Play like Griffin Witcher Adept. He probably doesn't have another lock. And if he did have a turn Joust, he would have played it earlier. So he should be safe. The shields here are less important because we're not playing King Ragnar. We're just going to be going in for the value on the transforming. Look at Amphibious Assault into something. Let's remove a shield here. Play Windhelm. If he didn't lock the Griffin Witcher Adept there, he doesn't have a lock. So Windhelm's going to be the booster. Try and carry this round. Gonna purify the shield off. Don't really care. We have a spare leader charge to put on this Windhelm in case this happens. And he's going to use his leader ability. Into Erland, of course. That's the worst one for him to get, but also we had a pretty decent chance to see it, so I'm not going to complain too much. We'll just transform here, get our shield. And okay, so we'll go Amphibious Assault. Go Immortals here. We're going to need this engine value. Basically what we want to do here is we want to win on even and force him to use the Erland order. If he keeps the Erland order, he's going to have a lot of points in his deck, which is annoying. If he uses it and then he wins the round, that's bad too. So we really just want him to use the order and lose the round. The only way we really get that is a lot of engine power, and that's going to be coming from our Immortals here. And there is the reason we did not go right into that shield wall charge immediately last turn, in case he had a way to spawn one of those. It doesn't matter for our combo here with the Sorceress and the what's his face? Immortals as much, because the Immortals still get his value. So that's not as big a deal. Just if he keeps removing the shield from Windhelm, it's really bad. So that's why we didn't do it last turn. And he's down 8 points. Okay, there's the Imperial Diplomacy. Into this. It's not too bad. So we got a couple points there on the Sorceress. should still be fine. Do this. Play Leo.
My mentor's recipe says.
We're up by 12. That's not a small amount. And I think this might force him to use the Erland order. And if he does, we go for... Okay, good. Now we go for our own Erland to set up our carryover. We should get enough points here that we win. And this is the turn we use the leader charge on Windhelm. Using it on Windhelm here gives us an extra 6 points, because 6 points if he doesn't play a card, which should give us the tempo to counteract the Erland carryover. We should be good there. And then we'll have the Erland carryover. We forced him to use his up, and we should have a really, really good spot moving forward. Some good value here from our combo. Get that Erland carryover set up, and we'll put this Shieldwall charge on the Windhelm. And if he does play his last card here, it's fine just to thin our deck with the Witcher Trio. They're really good to start around with, but I don't mind losing them here to thin out our deck and win uneven. Wouldn't be a problem. We've already used Leo, which is the best combo with him. Or with them, I mean. So there's the Zap. Get a little boosts. What is his last card? Is like Invocation or something? It has to be really big if he has a chance here. Otherwise, he's kind of playing Desperation cards. That's a Desperation card if I've ever seen one. We'll play out our Vesemir Mentor. He's probably just hoping we don't have something we're willing to play, but we do. And we have a lot of carryovers set up. We still have a leader charge. We should be good here. We're going to go for a round 2 push, because I don't really want to play 3 rounds if we have such an advantage. It gives him more time to draw into stuff that could fix his problems. Although he did play Jean Calvi, I think. Yeah, he did. Okay, we'll put that back. And this hand's really good. Doesn't look like it, but it is good. We go Kedwani Cavalry into the Sorceress, double Shieldwall charge, and then from our deck we play the... And we use John Natalius into Amphibious Assault, into King Rognar, and that's a really strong short round. And he has no leader charge, so this should be good. Should be good. This is only 3 cards, but even though our deck is really strong, typically in a longer round we get that value out of the Griffin Witcher Depths and the value of the big row boosts, boosting all of our cards, the Keldar, and then the King Rognar with like 20, not 20, like 10 different units with shield, and King Rognar is massive. That's what our deck's usually good at. We can actually do something really impressive in this short round, and if this guy doesn't use his leader ability and tries to greed, I'm going to BM him with a thank you, but we'll just see if he does. He's going to need his leader charge this round, and if he tries to be greedy and not use it, it's not going to work out. So he's going to create the Sorceress here. That's going to give him the option of removing our shields, but the thing is, I'm going to remove our shields anyway, so it's not going to do anything. And he's really going to need to use the leader. Unfortunately for him, when he does use the leader, it's going to give him 2 points. So it's not going to help him either, really, but he should know that he needs it this round. And yeah, he didn't use it, so this is going to be a GG. We're at 16 here, and quickly, we'll just show you this. We'll go boost this, and we'll get a couple extra points here. We go this into John Natalius, into Amphibious Assault, pull out the King Rognar, wherever he is, and then even though this is a short round, we're typically a longer round deck. We're up to 37 points. It's a 21-point finisher. And that should be enough that this guy's just done. No leader value can be possible, and he shouldn't have enough points in one card. And we'll just say thanks. You should have used that leader ability. Wouldn't really have helped too much with those 2 points, but honestly, it would have been the smart play to do anyway. You didn't know we had a John Natalius.
Monsters. No,
that's a GG. So what do I think about the deck? Would I change? All that good stuff. I think Shieldwall Witchers is okay. Like, it's a decent deck. You got some success with it. It has some flexibility. It has like a decent long round. It has a couple decent short round options. They're opening up with boosted Eskel, Vesemir, Lambert, or you have the Ansace duo. And you can kind of go like that last game where you have that nice finisher with Rognar and a couple of shield units. It's not that big a deal. Well, not that small, rather. It's pretty good. Now, as far as changes, Windhelm, I just wanted to try Windhelm out because I haven't tried him out in a while. I don't think he quite cuts it, unfortunately, there. And then, as far as the rest, a lot of it's quite good. One card I do want to mention, I think I skipped over in the beginning, is the Trial of Grasses. So, setting his power 12, it's not a Witcher damage by 6 first. It's pretty good. It gives you a lot of points on a couple of your cards. 6 damage is a handy number to have. And like I said, we lack a little control, so I might throw this in here instead of the Windhelm. That would be a nice change. And we have an extra provision somewhere. So I think I want to add in Trial of Grasses. And I think perhaps we swap this Artificer for a Boiling Oil. I think this is what I'm going to do. It gives us another Warfare to play with our John Natalius. Like I said, we were really short on control, and that kind of hurt us a couple times, so we'll do this, I think. Windhelm will give us some good value with his long round a couple times, but it was kind of hard to pull off. And yeah, I think that was kind of hard to pull off. I will make a couple other notes here. If you want to go less heavily into the Witchers, maybe just rely on the Adepts, and the other thing you can do here is Boiling Oil, and where's the Trial of Grasses? We can upgrade into the Kersarin, which might be handy, by dropping down a provision here. Griffin Witcher is pretty decent. We never even got to use him well, though, so you could remove him and then put in 2 4s. Something like a Squirrel into Tech card you could do. You could also go and just throw in one of a Centurion Envoy or something to stack your deck. Wouldn't be too bad. And if you want to go more into the shields portions of the deck, quickly exit without saving so I don't change everything. If you want to play more into the shields of the deck, and less with the Witchers, you can adjust the bronzes. So, if you go into just the shields part, where is Immortal Cavalry? So I'm thinking if this is a decent card to throw in if you want to play more heavily into the shields, which is a good thing. You could do that as well. It's not bad. If you don't like the Griffin Witcher, you don't like the 1 damage because we don't have too much to synergize with it, you don't want to go with the Crystal Skull, you could cut the Griffin Witcher and instead have these Immortal Cavalries. You could do this. And one thing this does open up is you can swap out Crystal Skull for the Engineering solution. And the reason why you might want to do this is if you're having trouble with round 1s. Like if you're losing round 1 a lot while committing big cards and you don't like doing that, Engineering solution on Sace is an incredible amount of damage. He comes down as an 8 with that on him, and then his duel does 16 damage. That answers pretty much anything. You can even add a shield wall charge to that if you want and kill something. Just kill whatever they boost with the Ring of Favor, even if it's late in the round. So this is an option you can do. It's pretty interesting to do this. And if you're going to go with this route, you could also remove the Windhelm, like I said earlier, and then drop down Provision somewhere, and even add a Selkirk in if you want to. The Selkirk with the shield with duel is very, very strong, whereas you could even throw him in here as well. So you could do that. Wanted to mention those. And one last thing, I guess there's a couple more things to note here. The Donmir Troy defensive protection is really handy. It's just so many people are running Purify nowadays, I didn't really think we'd find value from him. I wanted to point that out. And one more thing to note here is you can run a version with Henselt and Rifard's Vengeance. The idea being that similar to before, similar to like a couple other decks, you can just play the Rifard's Vengeance with Henselt or play it and put a shield wall charge on it. And that should protect it from a lot of stuff. It's not as good as having Zealot, which is why I didn't go with it, but it is something you could do if you want to. I just didn't think it was the best use of our provisions, and I like Erland, so figured we would mention that. But yeah, this is the deck. It's pretty decent. Like I said, we're going to be upgrading the Windhelm in it to something else, but other than that, it's pretty good. It's not the strongest deck, it's not the weakest deck, it has some good flexibility in it. I would like a bit more control than the version we ran, which is what we're going to change into. Other than that, it seemed pretty good. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.